Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and today I'm going to work on a Penn Clash 5000. This one was sent in by a viewer. They're not happy with the last service. The reel seems to be operating properly, but there's a little bit of a noticeable grind in there, and also I'm told that there's a little bit of slop in the handle gear, which I believe was replaced. So we're just going to take it apart. We'll do some problem diagnosis, see if this is an issue, and see what we can do to get this thing back on track, or if it's something that's just a result of a lot of usage that would just cause the reel to break down over time. So I'm going to take this reel apart. That's the first thing. So we're going to take this bump guard or shield, side plate shield off. And from the beginning, I always try to tell the viewers, try to wear something protective. In this case, I use a latex glove. Try and make sure that you take pictures along the way if you're not familiar with a particular reel that you're working on. In this case, I'm going to be trying to blueprint this reel, which is restore it and make sure that it's properly put back together from the service. So I went out and I got the schematic off of the website. In this case, the website is mysticparts.com. It's former penparts.com. So they're out there on the internet, and just make sure if you're going to do a reel that you're not familiar with, that you go ahead and pull those schematics. So I'm pulling the case screws out now, and you'll notice I use a parts tray to keep all my small pieces and parts in one place, so that when I go to redo the reel, I know where it is. And I find that that parts case has been invaluable to me over time. So we're just going to take this apart. And again, I know it's been serviced. There's been some thought that maybe the gearing that was put in is not meshing properly. So we'll take a look at it and we'll see what we can do. All right, just give me a moment here and we'll get that last screw out. Now generally what I like to do on these is to put these side by side when they come out, to make sure that the case screws are all the same. One on the bottom is not fully out. Don't try and pry anything. If you come into a situation where something is not coming out easily, you want to make sure that you take your time and don't pry it. I'm going to just push these out just to make sure that the side plate screws are all the same size. And they appear to be, so I'm just going to put the side plate and the screws back into that bucket. And here's the core here now. We're looking at the pin that holds our crosswind gear in and out. That's held on by that bump shield there. Bearing, main gear, crosswind block, crosswind gear, pinion gear. So it's pretty much a common setup for these types of reels. I think the reel has 4 ball bearings on it. Let's go ahead and take the top off as well. Right now I'm not seeing anything unusual, and we'll see. There is some concern that perhaps the gear that was replaced is not a standard Penn gear, and we'll go ahead and see if that's the case. Again, I have the glove on this hand. There is oil in that lubrication, so we will try and identify that. But again, if it was recently serviced. And we also have some shims in here. That was a concern. They said they thought they were trying to take the slack out of this by adjusting the extra shim. I'm not seeing a major cause and effect to that at the moment. These are different gears. These are, it looks like aftermarket stainless gears. We're going to have to see if that has an effect on it or not. But otherwise, the assembly is pretty much working the way it should work. There's no noise up top here. So my thinking on this one is that it's a stainless gear set. The stainless gear set is always a little bit more, it's always harder than the original gear sets, and that causes a grind sometimes. They're just not as forgiving as the brass gear set. But we'll go ahead and take a look and see if there's anything else going on in this reel. Right now it doesn't appear that way. Let's go ahead and take the spool shaft off. Like I said, the top seems to be performing fine at this point, and the gear issue seems to be below. And of course there's a lot of moving parts in this reel. This reel has the main gear set, which interlaces with or engages with the crosswind block, which moves the spool up and down. And we also have the smaller gear, so we have a double engaging point here. And sometimes if they don't mesh exactly right, that's where you're getting your noise. But yes, there's cause to concern yourself with noise. Generally, sometimes that noise is sand. I was just trying to take a look there to see if it might have been sand or something that was causing that. I'm not seeing it, and the reel is clean. So we'll go ahead and take that off. Let's go up top. Again, you have a little pivot post here that holds your crosswind assembly in. I think we can probably pull that down. To remove the crosswind gear, you pull the post out here, and you can take your crosswind block off. And again, I'm not seeing anything dramatic here in terms of pieces and parts. The crosswind gear is held in by a small screw. We'll take that out. Looks like there might be some dirt behind there. We'll go make sure we give this a good cleaning before we return it. No issues there. There's a little bushing on that crosswind gear. Accumulated dirt and junk in there. We'll get that out of there. Here's your secondary gear here, which just sits on a stud. Take that out. So we'll give it a good cleaning, but I don't see anything other than the fact that it looks like a stainless gear, which just makes a lot more noise. Taking off the holder now for the rotor. There's a little cap that holds that in place. Then we're going to take off the nut that holds that on. As I find the right wrench. There you go, it's a 12 millimeter. I like these. These are cap nuts. You can't over tighten the rotor with this one. It's got a little bucket in the bottom, which is a stop. I like that a lot. And then up top here, I'm not seeing anything unusual. This again appears to be done properly in that service, and that this was replaced. It's got a different shaft on there. So I think the report back is that the service was done properly. There is junk and grime in here. We're going to go clean up and re-lube. But overall, we could probably go back to the original gearing, but I'm not sure if that's that important. And we do see some old grease in there, some dark coloration, so I'm not sure if there's any contamination in there or not. But we'll go ahead and clean this up anyway, and make sure that all of this is operating properly. But overall, I don't think that the cause of the noise is anything to concern ourselves with, and I'm pretty sure this thing can go back fishing without any incremental service, so long as that gear set is okay. All right, so I'm going to put this back together after some cleaning, but we did want to do this as a diagnosis, and because it's a viewer of mine, I did want to share this with you, and also share it with him so that we know the status of this, and you know, we'll go discuss next steps and find out if he wants to reinstall the older, the original equipment, or if he wants to stay with the stainless gears. So that's it for now. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. If you have one of these, you've seen how to take it apart. It's not that much of a difficult situation to reinstall. You simply reverse the process that we used. show you a little bit about the cleaning up of it. There's a little bit more to do, a little bit more on the relube to be doing here with the gears. I want to make sure that those are all done properly. But other than that, this is the Penn Clash, and you've kind of seen the technology to it. It's a four ball bearing reel. You have the two on each side plate. You have one sitting up under here, and you have one sitting up on the spool shaft here. So it's a good design. It's meant to last a long time, and it will. And it's priced in the medium to upper end of the marketplace. So with that, I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you like this particular one, please indicate that on YouTube. And we'll come back and I'll let you know what the decision was about going with the main gears or not. Right? So thank you for watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, signing off.